All right, you go ahead. Any questions for TJ?
It's easier when you just talk for 8 minutes.
Yeah. I don't have that in my bag all the time.
TJ, what do you have to say about your team's rebounding effort and just owning the paint and second chance opportunities?
Yeah, that was extremely important. Obviously, we put a lot of pride and emphasis on finishing plays on the glass, on the defensive end, and then offensively getting those second chance points. And I felt like that was an area that we really stood out, especially some of the most impactful plays of the game. Certainly, Deshaun had one early. Brant Chatfield's consistent effort and production, and those are some of the most winning, biggest plays of the game. And he continues to do over and over where he's on the board. I thought the play where he gets the board on the free throw and then Heisey gets the next one, like those are just really tough if you're the other team. And guys are making those type of effort-based plays in key moments. So, again, we take a lot of pride in controlling the paint, foul line, and on the glass. And fortunate, over the 40 minutes, it wasn't perfect, but we had good moments in those areas.
This was the second game in a row where the second half rebounding margin was pretty wide, 23-9. What are you telling these guys at halftime that they just kind of ratchet up?
Yeah, it's a credit to our guys. Obviously, it's when we go into the locker room at half, we continue to emphasize the things over and over that we know are the tenets of winning and things are going to put us in the best position to win. And there's nothing more winning than rebounding. There's nothing that translates to success more than rebounding. It's a will and a determination. And so we talk about that at half. We challenge our guys to come out and be at their best. And fortunately, they took that challenge and did a great job.
And TJ, 8 of those offensive rebounds came in the second half, and it felt like at critical times, whether it be Brant, somebody doing something to, get you a second chance points where you go.
Certainly Brant had a bunch of them, and Heisey and J. Jeff and those guys, and then Taman had a key one as well. They're very timely, right? I think at points in the game when maybe your offense isn't flowing quite as well as you'd like you can turn a negative into a positive quick by tremendous effort on the glass with 2 hands and getting that rebound, and that oftentimes either leads to free throws, a putback, or a great shot from 3, and I think that's where those plays are so impactful.
Just one more real quick. 18 turnovers, but only 13 points off. That seems to be the trend when you are turning it over, not a lot of live ball stuff. Can you sort of live with that when you outscore them 7 points off turnovers?
Yeah. They're a very physical team guarding the basketball. They really do a great job guarding the ball, and their guards are quick, explosive, they're tough. Their team defense is really good. Often they don't foul their opponents. I don't think Utah shot a free throw, right, the last game that they played. So they do a great job of that. So that physicality, you got to find a way to use it against them and open the floor and open up space and try to drive the basketball. And I think that was – the thing that benefited us, particularly in the second half, was, we got to the bonus quickly, and then we continued to get those, those plays and get to the foul line. That helped give us a little bit of separation.
With how much you talk about rebounding, do you guys identify a numeric goal of, hey, we want to get X amount or a certain percentage of our misses back? And if so, what is it, and why is that? What you guys have identified?
Yeah, I would like to get all of them. If we were going to put a number on it, and if we're not to get it, to me, I'm always process over result, right? So I would just say I want multiple efforts from the guys who are tasked with going to the offensive boards, relentless effort and spins and everything they can do to get their hand on the basketball, and felt like that second half was really a great effort by our group. And in the first half, we didn't miss a lot of shots. We turned it over, so we didn't have as many possessions as we would have liked. But again, we don't have number goals. It's more of mentality of what we want to see possession after possession.
And earlier this week, you talked about the term hammer. Brant had 2 of those in the second half, and coming in here, he mentioned how you guys preach the importance of those over a dagger, which a kick-out 3, it sounds like.
Yep.
Why is it that you guys prefer the hammer over the dagger when it's 3 versus 2 points, I guess?
Yeah, I would say, to me, it depends on where you get the rebound and who's between you and the goal. So for us, a hammer's, an offensive rebound that you finish yourself. And there's times you get an offensive rebound, you're off balance. The defensive players between you and the goal. Maybe you're outside the paint. Maybe it was a long rebound. And in those instances, we want to kick it out and get the dagger, which is the quick 3. In the instance where you're to get one and there's nobody between you and the basket, or you can create space and get right back to a quick shot, those are the daggers. So or the hammers. So I don't know that I like both of them a lot. And the more we can get both, the more successful we'll continue to be. I think it just comes down to making the right play, just like a guard or a point guard or a playmaker makes the right play with the ball. A lot of times it's your front court player in that position. When you have a path to the goal, take it. If not, get it out and move it around and try to get a great shot.
I think it was after the UCF game on the radio, you talked about the impact for the team when Brandt makes one of those hammer plays. Why is it so impactful for this team when that play happens with that guy?
Well, Brandt is an everyday guy. He's a workhorse, and at his size, like every single day for practice, when you're sprinting the floor, when you're bringing physical to screens, when you sprint back, call pick and roll, like there's a lot of effort-based things that you have to do. And so his teammates appreciate and recognize how hard he plays, how physical he plays, and knowing that Brandt isn't someone that's really thinking about scoring, so that when he scores, it's like such a uplifting feeling for our team because they respect how much he does those effort-based things well, and then it's great to see him be rewarded for it, even though he's the last guy on the earth to ever think about himself. So those are galvanizing plays, and I'm really proud of Brandt because he's continuing to make them, and when you make them in the second half especially, those are big-time plays, and he's doing it consistently.
TJ.
5 techs between the two teams. What's the challenge, I guess, for both groups when the officiating, good, bad, or indifferent, becomes a component of the game that it seems like it is affecting play in one way or another?
Yeah, I mean, we take pride in playing a physical style of basketball. Cincinnati does as well, and they're a good physical defensive team. We've got to understand that when we're in the game, the number one thing is to keep our composure and get to the next play. It's not something that we're going to tolerate, guys getting outside of what it takes to win the next possession. And if you're getting into a verbal match with somebody, if you're giving, something back to the official, that's not okay, that's not acceptable, and that's not something we're going to allow to have happen. So I've got to do the best job making sure that everyone understands what the standard is, and then everybody on our team needs to understand that we are holding them to the standard, and that's the way it will be. So we play in a physical league, we play physical teams, we know what we sign up for. It's not anyone on our team's responsibility or task to try to handle that, whether it's with officials or another player.
With the turnovers, not just today, but maybe the last couple of weeks, is there a through line that you're seeing of why there's been a little bit of an uptick there?
Well, I felt like against Central Florida, the ball movement and sharing the ball was really good. Today, their on-ball defense and their disruptiveness, I mean, the same way we try to be disruptive, they do too. And you can't get caught over-dribbling because that allows that pressure. The same way we build our defense, that pressure kind of settles in. And so we've just got to do a better job making simple plays. Sometimes we're trying to almost be stubborn, like, hey, this guy's kind of fouling me, so I'm going to try to force it through his body and make the ref call it. And I would bet you that if you just took those 6 or 7 plays out of it, we'd be in a much better position. So it's something we're going to continue to address on film, because we can't have a stubbornness where it's like we're trying to force an official to make a call. We've got to be willing to be mentally tough in the moment to move the basketball and get to the next play.
TJ, Kurt was a perfect 12 for 12 from the free throw line. You guys had your highest free throw percentage of the season. Just how much emphasis goes into free throw shooting every week for you guys?
Well, it's something we certainly spend time on, and our guys get extra work in as well. And it's a component of winning, especially late in games and late in the season. Got to be able to go to the foul line and convert. And overall, I think we have a really good foul shooting team, but it's everyone's responsibility in that moment to block out noise, have tremendous focus on the foul shot. It's something that's, if you're a winner and you're a competitor, you continue to want to be great in that area. And so proud of our guys for the way they did that here today.
TJ, you guys reached the 80-point mark against a good defensive team, and that's sort of been a continuation over these past couple of games. How much does confidence play a role in a lively offense versus an offense that might not be able to find as many opportunities?
Well, I think the first 10 minutes of the game was, from an offensive standpoint, the way that we shared the ball, moved the ball on all fronts, it was terrific. We came out and we were great. And then, like I said, it started to stick a little bit. So we've got to continue to be the team that's willing to make simple play after simple play. As the ball moves, and what we're trying to do is create advantages, whether it's with movement, screening activity, whatever that may be out there. When you move the ball, you cause the defense to shift multiple times, to if they're switching or scheme things they're doing, you challenge them to communicate really well through those things. And then what happens is that advantage presents itself, and now you just have to make the right play. I think sometimes we predetermine what we think that right play might be, as opposed to just letting the natural rhythm of the game present itself. But when we've done it, and again, it hasn't been 40 minutes, the first 10 minutes was terrific, and even later in the game, there were stretches where we did a great job valuing it. Maybe it didn't move quite as well, but we had the floor opened up, we attacked the paint effectively, and we were on the glass. So there's a lot of different ways to run efficient offense, but getting into the paint, getting to the foul line, finding ways to score at the rim, that's the best way to have a great offense, so we need to continue to move it until we create those opportunities.
Do you prefer the wide-bodied post players? I mean, is Matt Campbell fighting you for some of these guys?
We just prefer winning players. All shapes, all sizes. We want guys who give everything they have and they want to win. So I think, with Brant and Dish, certainly we've got some physical advantages on the interior that we need to utilize and they need to utilize, but we like winning players regardless of how they come, shape or size.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.